Good evening, my friends. 16 Nobel Prize-winning economists warned that Trump's economic plans would reignite inflation. It's curious, I don't believe inflation has been extinguished that I know of. We're going to look at a chart here in a second. The timing of this article by CBS News is not a coincidence. It's from yesterday, so this will be fodder for a talking point for Beijing Biden tomorrow at the debate. It'll probably be thrown in your face, 30 times, who knows. Anyway, 16 of the world's most notable economists, all Nobel Prize winners, and they're credentialed class. They're throwing it in your face. Now, full disclosure, I went to a very prestigious school. I don't throw that in your face. I finished top of my class. But I think I have a more solid grasp of reality and more pragmatism than any of these assholes. But anyway, they are warning us that future President Donald Trump could stoke inflation if he wins the presidency in November and moves forward with his economic plans, because these guys think you're stupid. So many Americans are concerned about inflation, as well they should be. And hell, I fucking remember when the McChicken was on the dollar menu at McDonald's. Now I think they're like $3.60. So, and this guy is claiming Stiglitz, Joseph Stiglitz, name appears prominently throughout this video. Jew. You don't even have to ask. He's a Jew. Has come down remarkably fast. No, the rate of inflation is still well over the Fed benchmark, which is 2%. And I happen to know, you probably know this as well, but the rate of inflation is a year-over-year number. So we'll see a chart here that will explain it. It is not low, okay? It's still 3+%. And there's a right to worry that Donald Trump will reignite this inflation with his fiscally irresponsible budgets. Now, I don't know if Joseph Stiglitz has gotten the memo, but we ran a $2 trillion deficit last year, and we're on track to do the same again. So Paul Krugman pumped the same fear back in 2016. Now, this guy, he may have had some novel economic theory of some sort, but this dude's a fucking dumbass, all right? He doesn't get anything right, and in fact, if you fade everything he says, you're probably going to make a shit ton of money. So anyway, in 2016, he predicted that Trump would bring a global recession because he is basically, Donald Trump's a dumbass, and he's not going to make any right decisions, but yet he made pretty much all the right decisions because, Paul, I remember the halcyon days of 2017 through the end of 2019. But Paul Krugman's, let's check, we'll check Paul's track record here in a second. So after this one, this is his lol cow of his lifetime here in 1998. Now, in 1998, you may not remember this, but I do. Amazon was a thing, e-commerce was a thing, eBay was a thing, and some of the first wave internet, the .com stocks were doing great. So he wrote in 1998, the growth of the internet will slow drastically as the flaw in Metcalfe's law, which states the number of potential connections in a network is proportional to the square of the number of participants, becomes apparent. Most people have nothing to say to each other, but happen to be a veteran of social media, and people have a lot of shit to say to each other. Oh God, by 2005 or so, it will become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machine. Fact check, let's check that out. Judges, what do we got? What's the ruling on that? Yes, that would be an epic fail, Paul Krugman. So this is Mays Moore. This is a compilation of all the times the credential class got thrown in your face. This is from January, so this is not in reaction to this latest installment of the Nobel Prize-winning credential class throwing their knowledge or lack thereof in your face and thinking that you're too stupid to know any better. But this is Jen Nutsaki, Beijing Biden, and the black lesbian who got a job because she's a black lesbian. So here we go. I'm sorry for this.
15 recipients of the Nobel Prize in Economics released a letter in support of the president's Build Back Better plan,
including 4 Nobel Prize winners recently highlighted in an open letter.
17 Nobel laureates who have conveyed this will help address inflation.
14 Nobel laureates in economics said it'll actually bring down the cost. It will reduce the deficit, and it will totally paid for, and it's going to reduce inflation. 17 Nobel laureates in economics. 15 Nobel laureates in economics released a letter yesterday. 17 Nobel Prize winners in economics have said, spontaneously wrote to me together. And 14 Nobel laureates in economics wrote to me telling me that it would also diminish the impact of inflation. And I told you about the impact of 17 Nobel laureates saying it's going to decrease inflation, not increase it. And this is from 15 Nobel laureates in economics. Quote, because this agenda, the one I'm talking about, mine, 17 Nobel winners of the economics have written a letter just about 3 weeks ago to me affirming that this bill would ease long-term inflationary pressures. 14, I think it was 14, Nobel laureate economists in economics saying this is going to, what I'm proposing, to reduce the inflation.
All right, so here's the letter that that Biden was talking about. Open letter, economic recovery agenda. They said the American Rescue Plan would help, but we need the infrastructure bill, which is currently passed the Senate. So this had to have been late 2021. And here's the article from Fortune. 17 Nobel Prize winning economists back Biden's $3.5 trillion Build Back Better plan. Now this is from September 21st. 2021. So let's take a look at here inflation here. So Donald Trump leaves office and it's 1.4%. That talking point will be brought up tomorrow in the debate as well. But then let's see, what do we got here? So the American Rescue Plan, I believe, was passed somewhere around here, February 2021. And then, hey, look at all this inflation that appeared. And then it kind of leveled off in June, August, September. So here's September 21. Build Back Better plan, or the infrastructure bill, passed in this area here. And hey, look at all this inflation that showed up. It's not because of Trump. It's not. So it peaked June 2022 and eventually gradually went down. Now it is kind of stuck in a sticky floor here. Fed's mandate is 2%. It clearly is above 2%. It says 3.3%, May 24. And I don't expect this to get any better, but we know this is cumulative. It's month over month, or not month over month. It's compared to 12 months prior. So this basically is 3% higher than May of 2023, which was 5% higher. So it's 3% higher than the 5% higher. But these economic wizards don't seem to know that. So this is the Hill talking. This is not me. They're radically left wing. On 4/5/2022, Nobel economists were dead wrong on inflation and don't expect an apology because, hey, fuck you. I don't care about you. So later on in 2022, 17 Nobel laureates, same fuckers, by the way. I guess they're just Democrat activists. Nobel laureates that happen to be Democrat activists. I'm shocked Paul Krugman is not in this posse here. So they're saying that the Inflation Reduction Act is going to solve everything. And as you can see, nothing has been solved. Wake me when it gets below 2%. I won't hold my breath because I don't see it coming anytime soon. But hey, don't let these credential class try to scare you. Fucking Biden. If Biden wins, it's fucking game over. All right, so that's that. That's all we're going to do. If you like my content, hit subscribe, like button, notification bell, leave me a comment, read all the comments, my friends, and pick up some non-perishable food. And God bless.